The Mount Everest Foundation was created in 1955. It was funded by the proceeds from the original ascent of Everest, so the film, the book and lecture tour, and it all went into a pot for the future benefit of exploration in the mountain ranges. The ethos that we have at the MEF is very much encouraging a pure and ethical style of moving through the mountain regions. And I don't just mean that in terms of how a mountain is climbed, but also in taking note of the environment, the people, the cultures, and reducing our impact on that environment. So the 1953 ascent of Everest was, of course, a British-led expedition, but it would not have succeeded without the help of Nepalese staff and high-altitude porters. We encourage our expeditions to ensure that all the local staff that are employed at whatever level are paid fairly, are shown due respect, and that they are paid directly.
After the ascent of Everest in 1953 and K2 by the Italians in 1954, the third highest mountain in the world was climbed in 1955 by a British expedition, the first major expedition supported by the Mount Everest Foundation. Joe Brown and George Band arrived just below the summit on the 21st of May. But because Kanchenjunga is a sacred mountain, they stopped just short, keeping a promise given to Tashi Namgyal, the religious leader of Sikkim, that the top of the mountain would remain untrodden. Tourism has brought huge cultural change in mountain communities and despoiled many sacred places. The MEF requires supported expeditions not only to respect local communities, but to give something back.
Well, the important thing about the MEF is to remember from whence it came. And really, what the founders wanted was to continue supporting people who truly pioneered in the mountains, whether that be putting up new routes and new ranges, or more and more as well, whether it's about new scientific research. This isn't for followers, it's for people who are going to lead, take initiative and do something new.
This is it, Tim. Oh boy. The summit of the peak with no name.
For the general public, if they were to look at mountaineering as it's projected in the news today, we see commercialisation. The MEF is not about that. It's really about something very different, and remembering, as is important for all of us, that when we go to these ranges, we are guests in somebody else's country.
In 1955, the first all-women's Himalayan expedition made the first ascent of Liangpo Gang East in Jugol Himal. Monica Jackson, Elizabeth Stark, and Sherpas Mingmar Gyalgan and Ang Themba reached the summit. Their subsequent book, Tents in the Clouds, became a classic of mountain literature. All the world's highest mountains had been climbed by 1965, and so attention shifted to the unclimbed faces, such as Annapurna South Face and the southwest face of Everest. From the mid-1970s, small teams using alpine-style tactics became the norm, and this is the style the MEF supports today. The MEF also has a long tradition of supporting international expeditions. Alongside technically very difficult ascents of 6,000 and 7,000 metre peaks, supported expeditions have pioneered remarkable new routes in mainly alpine style on 8,000 metre peaks. Since 1992, an international jury has recognised highly significant achievements in mountaineering by awarding annual PLA d'Or. Over the years, MEF-funded expeditions have been awarded a total of 8 PLA d'Or. The threat climate change poses on mountain communities and environments has become an increasingly important area of study. and nearly 1/3 of MEF grants currently go to support scientific research. The MEF does much more than just fund mountaineering and science expeditions. Our website hosts an archive of hundreds of trips supported since 1954, allowing future climbers and scientists access to the vital information they need to identify new objectives. We are also partners with the Alpine Club and British Mountaineering Council in supporting the Young Alpinist Group, where climbers under 30 can develop skills and awareness in extreme environments. The golden age of alpinism is still with us. There are many unclimbed peaks over 6,000 metres, and many stunning faces and ridges yet to be attempted. The Mount Everest Foundation is here to promote respectful yet cutting-edge exploration in the mountains by alpinists and early career scientists, supporting them to push the limits of adventure and scientific innovation.